Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm ADINDA MAGHFIRAH from Class 3A English Education Department. So I got an assignment from Mr. Nuardi with subject Intermediate English Grammar. So I would like to present to you about my material, tenses. So now we're gonna talk about what are tenses in English. So, tenses refer to the state of the verb. The state or tense of the verb explain the time of the action. There are three major tenses in English. These include past, present, and future. Each of these tenses can explain an event that occurred in the past, in the present, and in the future. Each of these principal tenses is again subdivided into indefinite, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So now I will explain some of them in my presentation. Number one is present continuous. How we can form in the present continuous? I have an form for positive here. For positive, we need subject plus to be plus present participle. Like the example here, I am going. So I the subject and to be am plus present participle going. I'm going or you are doing or I'm going, you're doing, like this. And other example. And for negative form, we just need subject plus to be plus not plus present participle. So for the example is he, the subject, is the to be plus not plus present participle playing. So he is not playing. Or we can say that he isn't playing, like this. And then for interrogative form, we need subject. We need the to be plus subject plus present participle. Like, am I going? Or are you going? Like that. And then, now we're gonna talk about the function of the present continuous. Number one is when we talk about something that's happening at the time of speaking. For example, is like, you are studying English grammar. It means you are studying now at the time of speaking. Or maybe, let's go out now, it's not raining anymore. Like that. So, you are studying an English grammar now. Studying here plus to be are plus the subject you. This is the present continuous. You are studying. Ing. Studying. This is the present participle. Studying with study plus ing in the end of that word. And number two, when we talk about something that's happening around the time of speaking, but not necessarily exactly at the time of speaking. For the example is like, have you heard about Brian? He is building his own house. Or maybe Maria is studying English at a language school. But perhaps Maria and Brian are not doing these things at the time of speaking. Number three is when we talk about a period around the present. We can use the time signal here like today, this week, this season, now, at a time, at this moment, and others. For the example, like, you are working hard today. You are working plus today at the end of the sentence. We can talk about a period around the present. That's the example of that. And number four is when we talk about changing situation. Like, is your English getting better? Or the population of the world is rising very fast. We are using rising here, not rises. So that's the example for when we want to talk about changing situation. So we're going to use present continuous. Number two is simple present. This is my second part for my presentation. So, we use simple present to talk about things in general. We are not thinking only about the present. We use it to say that something happens all the time and repeatedly, or that something is true in general. We can use time signal here as like in the morning, every day, once a week, always, often, regularly, generally, seldom, here, sometimes, usually, and other, and etc. So, in simple present, there are parable sentence and nominal sentence. What's parable sentence and nominal sentence? I want to tell you now. So, number one is parable sentence. Parable sentence is the sentence with verb infinitive or verb 1. So for the positive form is subject plus verb 1 or verb plus s or es plus complement, object or adverb. And then for negative form is subject plus don't or doesn't plus verb 1 plus complement or object or adverb. And for interrogative, do or does plus subject plus verb 1 plus complement, object or adverb. I want to tell you this first. This is actually the important thing. For positive form, I, you, we, and they, we just use verb 1 here, not s plus es. But for she, he, and it, we use verb 1 plus s, es. Like the example, I will give you the example here. They speak Korean. This is positive form. They speak Korean without s and speaks. But if we talk about subject he, it will change. Like he speaks Korean with s at the end of the speak. And what about the negative form? The negative form, we'll use does for she, he, and it, and I, you, we, they with do. So they do not speak Korean, but for he, we gonna use does with this. He does not speak Korean, like that. And then number 2 is nominal sentence. This is sentence with to be plus complement, noun, adjective, or adverb. So for positive form, it will be subject plus to be and plus complement. And then for negative form, it will be subject plus to be plus not plus complement. And for interrogative, it will be to be plus subject plus complement. I have the example here. Like for the positive form is I am a teacher. Teacher is noun. Yes, that's noun. I am a teacher. I subject am to be teacher is a complement or noun. So the negative form, it will be I'm not a teacher. And for interrogative, it will be am I a teacher? Like that. Another example that you can see in my presentation. And number 3 is present continuous or simple present. For present continuous, as what I said before, we use present continuous to talk about something that's happening at or close to the time of speaking, sorry. For the example is, the water is boiling. Could you turn it off, please? Or maybe, Dinda is in US for 2 months. She is learning English. We use present continuous here. And then present continuous, we use present continuous for a temporary situation. Like, I'm living with some friends until I can find an apartment. This is present continuous. But for simple present, we talk about something in general or things that happen repeatedly. Like, Dinda plays tennis every Sunday. Dinda plays tennis every Sunday. And then we use the simple present for a permanent situation, like he does not work during summer. He always take long vacation. So permanent situation is always. The time signal is always. So we will use simple present here. And then I want to tell you that some verbs are used only in simple present because they are states and cannot have a progressive form. So we cannot use it in present continuous, like know, like, love, prefer, hate, want, believe, and others. For the example in sentences like, do you like Rome? So we are not saying, are you liking Rome? This is really wrong. So we are saying, do you like Rome? Like this. And number 4 is present tense with a future meaning. We use the present tense when we are talking about schedule, timetables, and etc. For example, movie or public transportation schedule. Study this example. This is Tom's schedule for next week. He is playing tennis on Monday afternoon. He is going to the dentist on Tuesday afternoon. He is having dinner with Anne on Friday. In all of these examples, Tom has already decided to do these things. If we are talking about what we have already decided and arranged to do, use the present continuous, don't use simple present. For example, like, what are you doing tomorrow evening? Not what do you do, but what are you doing tomorrow evening? And we will answer like, I'm going to the theater, like this. Number 4 is going to. Number 5 is going to. First, we use going to when we say what we have already decided to do or what we intend to do in the future. For the example, like, there is a movie on television tonight. Are you going to watch it? And B, an answer, no, I'm too tired. I'm going to make it an early night. Or maybe we use was or we're going to when we want to say someone intended in the past but did not do it. Like, we were going to take the train, but then we decided to go by car. And then number 3 is we use going to when we say what we think will happen. Usually, there is something in the present situation that makes the speaker sure about what will happen. For the example, like, look at those black clouds. It's going to rain. So it means that the black clouds has already in the sky now, and do not use will in situation like this. And then number 6 is will. We use will when we decided to do something at the time of speaking. For the example is, I'm too tired to walk home. I think I will take a taxi. Or, I left the door open. I will go and shut it. But don't use will to say what someone has already decided to do. For the example is, I can't meet you tomorrow because my parents are coming to see me. Let's say like this, like, my parents will come, this is wrong. And then you need to know about the negative of will is want or will not. Number 2, we use I think I will or I don't think I will when we decided to do something. Like, I think I will stay home this evening, or I don't think I will go out tonight because I'm sleepy. Like that. And also, we often use will in this situation, like offering to do something, agreeing or refusing to do something, and promising to do something, or asking someone to do something. And number 7 is will for the second part. When we predict a future happening or a future situation, we use will or will not. For the example, like, my friend will help me to make my homework. Now, we are predict and a future happening, like, my friend will help me to make my homework. And number two is we often use will with these words and expression. Probably, I'm sure, I bet, I think, I suppose, or I guess. I will probably be a little late this evening. Or maybe you must meet Elliot. I'm sure you will like her. So we're gonna use will in these words and expression. And number three is will and shall. We can say I will or I shall, but will is more common than shall. In speech, we normally use the short form I'll and will. That's mean I will and we will. For example, like I'll probably go to Europe or I'll probably go to Indonesia. Don't use shall with he, she, it, they, and you because we usually use shall in the question for offers, suggestion, and others. Like, shall I open the window or where shall we go to the toilet or where shall we go this evening like this. So don't use shall with he, she, it, they, and you. And number six, this is the last material for me, will or going to. Number one, talking about future action. We use about will and going to talk about our future action, but there is a clear difference. Look at this example below. Helen's bicycle has a flat tire. She tells her father, Helen, my bicycle has a flat tire. Can you fix it for me? And the father answered, okay, but I can't do it now. I'll fix it tomorrow. Will, we use will when we decide to do something at the time of speaking that the speaker has not decided before. It means that before Helen told her father he didn't know about the flat tire. But later, Helen's mother speaks to her husband like, can you fix Helen's bicycle? It has a flat tire. And father answered, yes, I know. She told me I'm going to fix it tomorrow. We use going to here when we have already decided to do something. Like Helen's father has already decided to fix the bicycle before his wife spoke to him. And number two is saying what will happen or predicting future happening. We use both will and going to say what we think will happen in the future. Like, do you think Dinda will get the scholarship? Or, oh no, it's already 4. We are going to be late. Like this. So, use will and going to say what we think will happen in the future. And use will and going to talk about our future actions. I think that's all for me. I'm really sorry for all of my mistakes, maybe for grammar error. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.